All right, here is the topic for this video. It's the biggest mistake that you can make when it comes to your dreams. So I've seen this with people who come to me talking about writing books or who I help or try to help with writing their book. And this is a theme that you'll see parallels with any kind of dream or goal at all. So I'm going to use writing books as an example, but you can pick whatever goal or dream and you can see how this applies, okay? So the biggest mistake that people make when it comes to their dreams is they wait and they wait and they wait and they wait. And then before you know it, their dream is gone. They've wasted their whole lives in the momentum of mediocrity and they die with the music in them, as the expression goes. So they never bring it to fruition. They never stepped up to the call they got to bring it through. And that's kind of a tragedy. Not kind of, it is. Because you get this idea, this divine inspiration, and then you do it a disservice by ignoring it and ignoring it and ignoring it and not bringing it through, not being the steward of the amazing idea. And a lot of ideas are amazing. Don't sell yourself short. Of course, not all of them are, but I'm talking about those things, those dreams that you really have in your heart. Like there's people that have had a book in them for decades, and it's a great idea, and it keeps coming back to them like every few months or every few years that it'll come up again and again, but they'll ignore it and ignore it and ignore it, put it off. They wait and they wait and they wait, and then it never happens. So there are some like forms or aspects of this waiting too that I'll talk about. So one is waiting for permission. Okay, that's one way this waiting manifests. They feel like someone is going to magically come up to them and grant them permission to do the thing. Like some publisher, even though they haven't really put themselves out there, is going to find them and be like, hey, you should write a book for us. You know, this is like magical fairy tale, not in a good way, thinking. This waiting for permission, like someone's going to come in and do everything for you or give you a golden platter to do it, or be like, I'll market your book or I'll write it for you or help you along the whole process. I'll help with some of that. Like for real, I have offers that do that. But people act like if you just sit there and you go about your life, your ordinary life, basically falling into mediocrity, that things are just going to come to you. And that's not how it works. Things come to you when you start taking action, when you meet the universe or God or whatever halfway. That's when opportunities start coming to you, not just by continuing the status quo. Nothing's going to fall into your lap that way. And a note on like inspiration and ideas. Inspiration and ideas will seek you out. This is why people get ideas. You know, you don't have to do anything a lot of times. It'll come to you randomly, whether you're on a walk or in the shower or it comes to you in a dream or something like that. This happens to all of us. That inspiration strikes, those ideas will find us because they want to be birthed into this world. They want to be brought through here. So they'll come to you, but the motivation will not seek you out. Okay, the discipline will not seek you out. With that, and this is what's required to bring these ideas through, you need that motivation, you need that discipline. And that's not going to seek you out. You need to do that. That is part of what we as humans need to step into and take that action, that motivation. So like the idea of a book comes to you, you need to clarify that idea, outline it, start writing it every day, take those steps to bring it through. And then you'll see the opportunities open up. So you need to find that motivation and exercise that motivation, that discipline. So remember that. Ideas might seek you out, but motivation will never seek you out. You got to put in the work that way. It's like it's on us as humans to do that side of the equation. Remember that. Okay, so other examples of the waiting. Waiting for perfect circumstances is another manifestation of this waiting. So waiting for until you're retired, for example, like I'll write that book or I'll write my novel idea when I'm retired. And guess what? You build a habit of just complacency and doing mediocre things and watching TV that by the time you're retired, you're so far into that momentum that you're not going to muster up that motivation and discipline to do something creative and do something that's a rite of passage that like transforms you, that actually pushes you into growth, like writing a book. You're just not going to do that if you build your habits around complacency and mediocrity and just consuming. It's not going to happen. So waiting for the perfect circumstances doesn't work either. Again, the perfect circumstances, first of all, will never happen. There's never perfect circumstances, but you get better circumstances by putting in the work, by having the discipline and motivation, taking those steps, and that's where the circumstances get better. Opportunities open up, you magnetize things like that. Another example of waiting for permission is waiting for yourself to magically be a better writer. People think that like, if I was a good writer, or if I ever was a better writer, or like for some reason they're waiting, like being a good writer is going to strike them like lightning. Then they'll write a book. No, that's not going to happen either. And how do you get better at writing? It's like a muscle. You do it through consistent practice. Just like even though some people have, more of an orientation genetically or mindset wise or what they enjoy doing towards building muscle. Yeah, people can be better at it, but everyone can build muscle. Just like some people are naturally more gifted writers, but you only get better through practice. And everyone uses language. You write, don't you? You write texts, you write emails, things like that. You can get a lot better at writing. You can get book-worthy writing ability just by writing your book, by practicing it every day. Like people think like there's some magical ability with writing when it's really just practice and finding your own voice, because you don't have to sound a certain way. That's the cool thing about writing. You don't have to follow anyone else's idea of what good writing is. Because it's just like speaking. Anyone could be a good speaker in their own unique style. So you could be a good writer in your own unique style. This is a key point. Remember that. You could be a good writer in your own unique style, and that just takes consistency. And in like my programs, everything I do, I help you acquaint with that inner wisdom to express that in your own unique way and hone your voice, and combining it with that discipline and that motivation to keep going. So what's behind all of this? Like the waiting for someone to give you permission, the waiting for the perfect circumstances and things like that. It's ultimately self-sabotage. It's your ego or the parts of you that just want to be comfortable, just want to be safe. We don't want to grow too much. We'll lose our identity if we grow. All of those things, the fears of what other people think, the fear of failure, the fear of success, the self-doubt, all of that stuff. That's what keeps people in this comfort zone, in the habit and the momentum of mediocrity, in the habit of postponing your dreams. It's all self-sabotage. And you got to face it. You got to look at it like, yeah, I'm afraid of what other people think, or I'm afraid that I'm not good enough to do this. Like, face that. That's why I talked about that. I think it was last week. I talked about the key is actually facing it. Facing your self-sabotage and facing your idea. And like acquainting yourself with that idea. It's so, so important. So get real with yourself about that. Like that you are self-sabotaging, that you are choosing mediocrity and comfort and being a consumer more than a creator. And you're practicing the habit of postponing your dreams. Get real with yourself. Like, I've built the habit of postponing my dreams. Damn, like, I need to correct that, or I choose to correct that, because that's what it takes to bring my dream into fruition. And part of it is also respecting those dreams and those ideas enough to do it, to be a humble servant of it, to bring it through and do the work that it takes to bring it through. You know, if you have a book idea and you got it 5 years ago and you haven't done anything with it, what are you doing? You're turning your back to it. Don't die with the music inside you. I'll leave it at that, you know? And I'll talk about some ways that I can help you bring your book to fruition. So the first thing is, I just recorded a workshop yesterday. It's a free workshop to help you get started with your book. It's about clarifying the idea, outlining your book, and then developing a roadmap to get started and actually follow through with writing your book. It's a completely free workshop. I will link to it wherever I can, wherever you see this video. There will be the link to that free workshop to get you started with your book and to help you follow through with actually writing your book. It's great. Like, there are some interesting questions that I give you to help you clarify the idea. And you're actually going to have an outline, or at least the first iteration of your outline, done by the time you're done with the workshop, because it's interactive. You're not just sitting there and absorbing. I give you exercises to do, and I create space for you to refine your idea and to work on your outline. So you're going to have that done, at least the first version of it done, because I recommend you refine, change, add to it over time. But you'll have the first version of your outline done by the end of the workshop, actually before the end. So there's that. And if you've already heard of my program, Divine Write, this is like my full system to help you write a book. It's got 60-something lessons. It has guided meditations, guided writing sessions, things like that. It's the whole system. It's everything I've used to write 20 plus books in one place. If you've already heard of that and you've been interested in it, I've turned it into an online course. So it's available for a lot less of an investment than the first 2 iterations, which involve like a coaching VIP package. So this is way more affordable, and it's more accessible. And I included a 12-month payment plan for it now, so you can get it for as little as $44 a month, the whole Divine Write program to write your book. So there's that, free workshop and Divine Write, all right? And then journaling. For real, journaling helps with everything. Like, part of me just wants to talk about journaling nonstop because it's that important. Journaling is what helped me write books and helped me like get clear with ideas and actually receive ideas. And then the process of working on them. So it's a really unique thing, journaling, because it's unique in the way that it acquaints you with ideas, but it also helps you implement them as well. So I have a few journals. The most notable one is the Mindful Morning Journal, because this is the most important one. It's a morning routine and a journaling practice all in one. So I'll link to that wherever I can. It's in the link in my bio and in all my social profiles and things like that too. So that's what I have available. But if you want to write your book, I have the free workshop for you. And if you're already like, I want to do your full program, check out Divine Write as well, because I will help you follow through and bring this idea to fruition and help you do it from the soul, because that's what it's all about. It's not about copy pasting or copying other people or things like that. It's about acquainting with your inner wisdom and acquainting with the essence of your idea, and then being a steward of that, bringing it through, bringing it to life. And the feeling of doing that, the satisfaction of doing that, is unmatched, for real. And the regret of not doing it, you don't necessarily want to live with that, but it's your choice. All right, so that's all I got for today. Wishing you a beautiful now moment. All right, Peace, peace, many blessings.